Hello humans, Master Dinnerflax here bringing you a little quality content you deserve, and today I'll be going over the new Fortune Lady support. So when I first made this deck profile of just Fortune Ladies, it was pretty much just a draw deck, draw until you get Snow and Soul Charge. And I mean it worked sometimes, but with this new support it gives them like their own win condition on that draw power, and the win condition is draw traps. So let's get into it. So we got triple Fortune Lady Dark and triple Fortune Lady Pass. So all of them have the effect to change their own levels. That's pretty like normal to see. This one's a tuner that can change its own levels by banishing stuff from your graveyard, hand, or field that are spellcasters. So that's pretty cool. And then both of these being dark turns Allure online because we can also search them. Then we got triple Fortune Lady Water, another draw card. This one, it's also super easy to summon now since a new card came out, and it's just so much draw power. Triple Fortune Lady Light, very good. It's pretty much just a floater, and you're trying to find ways to trigger it. So one thing I don't play is the field spell, because I think that card is absolutely awful in this deck, even though it was made for it. And the reason I say that is because you are a very normal summon dependent deck, and you're banishing your own normal summon, and that's bad unless you specifically have Fortune Lady Light. So if that doesn't happen, you are just banishing your own monster and then just taking a minus and then just doing nothing that turn. So that's terrible. And more importantly, your opponent doesn't have to suffer the same fate if they're playing any deck that special summons at all. So that's why the field spell is terrible, because it's worse against yourself than it is for your opponent. So I was like, screw that, I'm not playing that. So I'm pretty much just forcing myself to say Fortune Lady Light only triggers from Spellbook and Knowledge. And while that's not very consistent, it is better than playing that field spell. And then for the last two, we got Wind. Probably the worst one in here, but I do just want searchable back row removal. Mystic Mine would probably shit on this deck, but it's a good thing. I just don't play against that deck. If you're playing it, I'll just leave. And then we got Fortune Lady Fire. It's like the only disruptive one, and you can trigger it multiple ways. You can trigger it from a Lights effect, or you can trigger it from their new card, Return from a Different Dimension. Now we got Fortune Lady Calling. This allows Fortune Lady Water to just be insane. You can just special summon it from the deck and get 2 draws. It's really powerful. Then we got Fortune's Vision, or whatever it's pronounced. The other effects I don't care, but when it's activated, you get to search any Fortune Lady card, which is nice. Then Future Fortune, you do a lot of banishing with this deck, so put it back for a +1 and draw 2 cards. Triple Allure Darkness, we got 6 Darks and an extra 3 copies to search them. 2 Spellbook of Knowledge, 1 Upstart, 1 Reborn. We got 9 ways to draw cards here, 3 ways here. We got 12 ways to draw cards, and 11 of them are draw 2 cards. So that's pretty fun. And then Reborn. Reviving Water. It's pretty simple. For the traps, since like I said, we're just trying to draw into traps, we got a whole Solemn package and triple Torrential Tribute. Your main Synchro is an extremely good floater, so just let's put up this floater, set a bunch of traps, and call it a day. That's pretty much what you're trying to do with this deck. And then double Return from a Different Dimension, called Fortune Lady's Rewind. You do a lot of banishing. I don't know how about 2. I think I'll just put it to 1 soon. But it's actually really nice to trigger Fortune Lady Fire on your opponent's turn with this. And if you revive a Light and then in phase it goes back in the deck, that's an effect, so you actually get its effect. So that's really nice. Then for the side deck, doesn't matter because these are just cards I'm testing. Like this one's really neat, but it's kind of hard to use because you really want to normal summon Fortune Ladies. So kind of just way too slow, but it is cool and I might test it. For the extra deck, Crystal Wing, 2 Fortune Lady Every. This card's really cool. I want to compare this deck to like 2012 Elemental Heroes, where their main goal was to summon Shining and then just set a bunch and pass. The reason I say that is because this card's really good, but it doesn't actually do anything. It like keeps itself alive forever, and it's a constant threat of damage, but it doesn't negate anything. It doesn't quick affect anything. It's just like really powerful fair card. It floats. When it comes back, it banishes something. It increases its own attack. It's got a 2800 base attack, so that's pretty cool. So it's like, what you do is you just draw a bunch of cards until you draw a bunch of traps. You summon this, set all your traps. They're going to have to use multiple cards to really deal with this. So when they commit, you just blow them out with trap cards and you call it a day. So that's pretty much the focus of the deck. One Arcanite, one Dolphin. I don't even care about its other effect. It probably has an effect that's pretty good. The only thing I use it for is when it dies, you can banish a water from your graveyard to revive it back. That's the only thing it does. So it triggers like your recursion banish stuff, and that's pretty much it. And when it comes back, it's a tuner. That's pretty much all it does. And Brionac, very good. Catastor, because there's no other synchro you can really play that's level 5. Miko is cool, but you can't search anything with it that does anything in this deck, so that's unfortunate. But yeah, gotta play synchros because calling restricts you to synchro summoning that turn. And Norito, you can make it sometimes. I probably will cut it. Daybreaker, Beat Cop, and then the staples of Nightmares and Borals. So yep, that's about it. Let's see if I can get a replay going. Yay, because I know how you guys love replays. So let's get into this. It is just a perfect example of how I play the deck. You just set, summon, draw, draw, draw. Like, look how many cards I'm going to draw here. And yep, that's pretty much it. That was a basic amount of draws. What I'm going to do next turn is just an insane amount of draws. And because I have traps, my opponent's just going to overcommit into them because everyone does. So draw more, and then I'm going to draw more. And I'm going to attack until he's only like at 600 life left. And then he's going to try again. And then I'm just going to blow him out with Torrential. Because fortunately the Every will come back in his end phase and I can just attack for game with it. So yep, that's about it. Thank you all for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. And remember, Master Dinnerflax will take your soul.